here's your lovely host. It's time for Miranda.
Why, thank you, Larry. Yes, I'm Miranda, the Oprah of the Ozarks. We're here today to visit with the gals about this situation that exists in society today, where we tend to get home from work and slam that front door behind us. Then we lock 5 or 6 deadbolts and sit down to a laptop computer where we go to our social networks and we tweet, we text, we email, but we don't even take the time to get to know our next door neighbor. Isn't that a shame? And we want to find a woman that's here today with her husband who can share some of her experiences from those times when our social networks were our friends, family, and neighbors. Where is this woman that can tell us about her experiences here today? Well, here she is right here. Come on, dear. Yes. We'll have a wonderful time.
It's beginning to snow.
Yes. Having a nice day up until now? Right up here. We'll just visit for a little while. And if you wouldn't mind taking that center chair, because our show today is all about you. Yes. Something with jingle bells. How nice. So, what's your name?
Brenda.
Brenda, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Now, is this your husband you're sitting with that has the camera?
Yes, it is.
And Brenda, what's his name?
Daryl.
Daryl. Is that your first husband?
Yes.
Ah. Boy, he wouldn't have been my first choice. How long have you stuck it out with Daryl there, Brenda?
37 years.
37 years.
Yes.
Well, you should be commended, yes. Now, what does Daryl do for a living?
He's a minister.
Oh, I see. A minister. Couldn't get a real job, huh? And
Challenging.
Oh, I'll bet it is challenging. Yes, working one day a week. But it's busy that day, isn't it? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've been told that a minister has a lot of bosses.
Yes.
Everybody seems to want to tell him how to do his job.
You're right.
Yeah, that must be, well, it isn't heaven. So how many children are there?
4 children.
4. How many boys and girls?
3 boys, 1 girl.
Oh, you were outnumbered there, weren't you? The
Yes.
girls were, oh goodness. Was that rough?
Not really. We have a redheaded daughter, and she was the firstborn, and she made all of the blonde-headed boys just stay in order.
Is that right? She ruled the roost.
She did.
Well, good for her.
She did. Yes,
Now, are they all married and
all
away
married.
from home?
All married, but they live within 10 miles.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, no.
3 grandkids.
Any divorces in there?
No.
Oh, well, that's nice. You're lucky there. But
They're blessed.
they all live within 10 miles?
Within 10 miles in every direction.
Huh.
Yes.
Now, is he a romantic man?
Yes.
He is. Well, you're very lucky.
Yes.
Yes, because my husband, that commercial comes on TV, I gotta give him one of these. You've probably heard it. Every kiss begins with K. My husband says most of them start with a Bud Light.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is different.
Well, Brenda, I sense a few underlying problems here in the family situation, and we have a specialist. My associate can deal with these for you. Dr. Walt Garrison is here today, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I'm good. Yes, doctor. This is Brenda, and they have a very long-lasting marriage. He's a pastor in some religion of some kind. And they have 4 children that all live within 10 miles of the house. And you want me to hold that up for you? There you go. She's got that touch. But this is what bothers me. The kids are all so close to home. It's like they haven't grown up or matured enough to really cut the apron string. Yeah, and I'm sure it's just because of a lousy male role model at home. That's my read on it, Doc, so the ball's in your court. Go for it.
Well, let's air it all out. Let's air it all out. And I tell you what, now how many kids do you have there? 4 kids, boys?
3 boys.
3 boys. And they're all married, is that right?
Yes.
All married.
Wow. Did the boys have trouble meeting a woman that you approve of?
Not at all.
Not at all. Well, that's wonderful. Well, some mothers are, a little more picky, I guess. I had a young man come to me for counseling, and he was having trouble. Every woman that he brought home to meet his mother hated every one of them, couldn't stand them. And I told that young man, I said, son, here's the secret. This is what you need to do. You need to find a woman that looks like your mother, acts like your mother, cooks like your mother. Everything's going to go great. He came back a week later. I said, how'd it go? He says, well, I found a woman that looks like my mother, acts like my mother, cooks like my mother. I said, what's wrong with that? He says, well, Dad hates her. That's what happens. What town are you from?
Paducah, Kentucky.
Paducah, Kentucky. You know what? I did my underdoctorate there at the Paducah Memorial Mental Hospital. You know where that is?
No clue.
We think you do. Let me tell you what I did at the hospital. My job was to help the patients. I took them back out into the world, took them on little field trips, help them get back out into society, art museums, things like that. I developed a series of verbal commands to help me when we got out there in public. And I remember one time I took them to a baseball game, and boy, did we have a good time. We got there to the stadium, we found our seat, and they started playing the national anthem, and I said, up nuts, and they all stood up, like that. They finished the national anthem. I said, down nuts, and they all sat down. Somebody hit a home run. I said, cheer nuts, and they all cheered. Everything was going great. I left my assistant in charge, right? I went to have a beverage. When I came back, chaos and pandemonium all over that section of the stadium. I went right to my assistant. I said, what happened? He says, well, everything was going great, and then this fella came down the aisle and yelled, peanuts! Words are powerful. Herschel, I don't know how you keep this thing up. Anyway, here's what we're going to do. We're going to help you. We're not going to worry about all that stuff. We're going to get. What's your husband's name?
Daryl.
We're going to get intimate with you and Daryl right now. All right. We're going to ask the hard questions. Have you tried adding excitement to your marriage?
It's already exciting.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I tell you what, well, you can try this if you like. This is something I did for my marriage. I got home before my wife did. I went upstairs. I changed into my birthday suit, if you know what I mean. I was going to surprise my wife at the front door, and now we're being sued by the Jehovah's Witness. You got to be careful. This is what you're going to do. This is something exciting for you and the preacher. He'll like this. It's a meal for 2 next door at the Grand Country Buffet on us. And remember to eat safely. Always use condiments. There you go.
Love. Oh, it's exciting.
Thank you, Brenda.
Oh, you bet. Ride a sleigh. How about a great big hand for Miranda, Dr. Wall right there.